Let's go. I'd like to talk about what it means to be a citizen and how we have always been a country of inventors, builders, hackers, and makers. Here are some recent hackers in the news. They actually made America a little better by hacking some tall grass during the government shutdown. Those guys in the background are actually some guys who started this whole idea of hacking and making. They got together on weekends, evenings, they came up with this pretty cool idea back in maybe the 1700s. They kept it simple, they could write it on a post-it note. They wanted to try and make an experiment in the government where it was a sort of a government for the people, by the people, of the people. And they had access to a pretty cool printing technology, and they used it to actually make something pretty cool. They cared deeply about makers and inventors. They wanted to open source the code of creativity with the commons of ideas, but also wanted to reward people who invented. They wanted to reward them by giving them a patent, imperfect protection, so that they could have time to gain traction in the marketplace, but ultimately put it back out into the commons of ideas. Thomas Jefferson, that first patent attorney, thought that patents were kind of like a candle. If you lit another candle, you didn't actually lose your idea, you kept it. And he said patents were like that, they were non-rivalrous, unlike something like the Boston Commons, where you put horses out there and everybody ate it up, and then pretty soon it was rivalrous. Betsy came along, a graphic designer, and she helped us come up with a logo for it. We ran some beta tests in 13 different communities. It worked out pretty good. The app soon spread like wildfire from, really from sea to shining sea. It wasn't perfect. You know, there were battles between competing branches of code. Sometimes things turned ugly, but we learned to get back up. And we learned to try again. And it hasn't been easy, but we're trying to make a more perfect union. We're trying to listen, to be more citizen-centric, and always in beta, testing, learning, striving towards freedom and equality, hopefully a little bit more than 40 acres and a mule. Soon others found out about the app, they got the download, and they joined the community. Bring us, you're tired, you're hungry, we've got an app for that. One local Pittsburgher decided to build a massive peer-to-peer network of information systems called a public library, where every location could be a client and serve a book, and every location could be a server and serve the community. His idea changed the world, spreading knowledge among a social network of communities, just like Napster. Did you guys notice that guy looked like Justin Timberlake? Yeah. You know, the market for making in America wasn't always kind. Sometimes it was pretty tough. At one point, this power couple comes along. They've got some idea. They're going to come up with like this new deal. That's their idea for hacking the system. And so they started in earnest. Franklin created the Civil Conservation Corps. It roamed the country, citizen makers, planting seeds, clearing roads, conserving the raw materials of our countries. And those seeds would someday become forests that they could show their children and their grandchildren. It was pretty amazing. Along the way, these makers, they learned to get along with each other, even if they were from different parts of the country. You know, a kid from New York, a kid from some small town in New Mexico. That really made a community of citizens that served us all pretty well when we actually went to war a few years later, and they were called up by the draft. While Franklin was busy transitioning everybody into the army and fighting after Pearl Harbor, his wife started a syndicated national blog. It was actually viewed by hundreds of thousands of followers over decades. She wrote it from the White House. It was called My Day. It was pretty exciting. She really shared community. Now, some people probably recognize the guy over here, Martin, but some things we didn't fix things very well, and we had to go back. That one over there is Harry. Harry, most of the time, he spent his time talking about, you know, a hole in the bucket or an island in the sun. But every once in a while, he got involved behind the scenes. At one point during the struggle, he took a bunch of civil rights leaders and he took them on a plane and he put them on a plane to Africa to show them what was happening over there. That people just like them could be kings, could be presidents. It was pretty exciting. He actually learned about Africa at this meetup at Eleanor's house. He didn't know really much about it, but he set up a foundation to bring Kenyan leaders as well. This was this new democratic movement over to America, he basically set it up kind of like a Kickstarter. He asked for individual waiters and wait staff and elevator operators to do things. This is kind of interesting. These are some of the people that he brought over from Kenya. So he was kind of trading back and forth. He was making something interesting. Anybody recognize this guy in the corner? I'll give you a hint. He's the father of the President of the United States today, Barack Obama Sr. He came over. In the history of citizen and civic hacking and making, we've had moonshots. We've done some pretty amazing things. We built an amazing global series of tubes. It's pretty exciting. Today, we are here alive because of what that small group of people dreamed. We can kind of make anything now. We can print buildings. We can print bacteria. It's this weird world where a citizen board today, it's not about they can never change the world, that they might not have the chance to change the country. It's actually that they probably can change the country 5 times before lunch. And one of them might cure cancer, and one of them might also wipe out life on Earth. So citizenship and what it means to be a global maker is going to change pretty radically in the next few years. It's exciting, it's scary. The point is that passionate people recognize the big, impossible things no one person or organization can do. E pluribus unum, in many one, citizen, maker. Building a more perfect union.